I mean, you're talking about a global vaccination program.
A global vaccination program.
Without a vaccine that hasn't been fully developed yet, and a massive scaling up of how to produce one or several vaccines. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think about this effort. Well, I want to ask you, you mentioned side effects. The side effects for the Moderna vaccine sound concerning. We looked. Don't! After the second dose, at least 80% of participants experienced a systemic side effect.
Don't! Multi-billion-dollar Gil Bates, who's not an elected official, as though that mattered anymore. He's not a doctor. He's not a medical expert. Heck, he's not even able to build a computer that's not vulnerable to major viruses. And yet, somehow, he's helping to lift the cloud that we're all living under. Right, Anderson Cooper?
Bill Gates is helping to lift the cloud that we're all living under.
What the hell did you just say?
Bill Gates is helping to lift the cloud that we're all living under.
Now, what I want you to do, Mr. Bates, is take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And let's talk about Gil Bates' interview with CBS teleprompter reader Norah O'Donnell about the horrible side effects of the Gil Bates-funded you-know-what.
Well, I want to ask you, you mentioned side effects. The side effects for the Moderna vaccine sound concerning. We looked. After the second dose, at least 80% of participants experienced a systemic side effect.
Now, when you listen to Gil Bates, I mean, really, really listen to him, you can't help but think, you know, this guy is articulate, he's direct, he's precise in his language, and just so darn easy to listen to and understand.
The very high risk of death. And so, but that, well, some of the infection risk, and so now, but it's kind of not as titillating to say, you know, Cooper's innocent. Oh well, as you do,
yeah.
The accusation.
I'm sorry, the what?
The accusation.
Acquisition?
The accusation.
All right, let's just proceed with the impeccable articulation.
The accusation. And so it kind of it is really unexpected that you wouldn't let the experts share through been muzzled that well, fortunately the actual then, you know, after the deaths as the, you know, next biggest cost, and one that that, you know, this is totally a political thing where it's black and white. Now,
at this point in the video, I bet you're sitting there tempted to think, you know what? If that old Gil Bates was in the car manufacturing business, I bet you anything my car would crash twice a day for no frickin' reason. And when it died on the side of the freeway, I'd have to pull off to the side of the road, close all the windows, shut off the car, restart it, open the windows back up before I'd even be allowed to proceed. And of course, the airbags wouldn't deploy until you got a message from the dashboard saying, "Are you sure you want to perform this function?" Now let's take a quick look at Norah O'Donnell's question to Bill Gates.
Well, I want to ask you, you mentioned side effects. The side effects for the Moderna vaccine sound concerning. We looked. Don't! After the second dose, at least 80% of participants experienced a systemic side effect.
Bill's like, my God, this chick done gone off the script.
Ranging from severe chills to fevers.
Don't!
So, are these vaccines safe?
Well, the FDA, not being pressured, will look hard at that. The FDA is the gold standard of regulators, and their current guidance on this, if they stick with that, is very, very appropriate. And you know, the side effects were not super severe. That is, it didn't cause permanent health problems for the things that are they.
Wait, one more time?
And you know the side effects were not super severe. That is, it didn't cause permanent health problems for the things that are they.
The question was simple, Gil. Are these vaccines safe?
Are these vaccines safe?
Yeah, but some of that is not dramatic, where you know it's just super painful. But yes, they're.
Now, the point at which Norah O'Donnell makes this multi-billionaire eugenicist squirm is the point at which you'd probably be asking yourself, I wonder if Miss O'Donnell's going to have a job this time next month. And you could tell she hit right at home because old Bill starts getting a little bit fidgety and fumbles a little bit more with his words.
And you know
You can't seem to come up with a convincing answer for the high percentage of adverse side effects, can you, Gil?
We need to make sure there's not severe side effects. The FDA, I think, will do a good job of that, despite the pressure.
Wait a minute, Gil. Let me get this straight. You think the FDA is going to do a good job releasing a safe and effective vaccine? And you're going to say that with a straight face, knowing the track record of the FDA?
You know, Moderna did have to go with a fairly high dose. And so, to get the antibodies, some of the other vaccines are able to go with lower doses to get responses that are pretty high, including the J&J and the Pfizer. And so there's a lot of characteristics of these vaccines. It's great that we have multiple of them that are
Bill,
going out there. And yes, I think
you know the data
US
better than I do.
government-
But the data showed that everybody with a high dose had a side effect.
Yeah, but some of that is not dramatic, where it's just super painful. But yes, we need to make sure there's not severe side effects. The FDA, I think, will do a good job of that, despite the pressure.
How many doses of the vaccine will we need?
Well, none of the vaccines at this point appear like they'll work with a single dose. That was the hope at the very beginning. Maybe one of them, particularly in the second generation, won't surprise us. We hope just 2, although in the elderly, sometimes it takes more. And so making sure we have lots of elderly people in the trial will give us that data.
You've said some more than 7 billion doses. That's what we'll need.
Well, if what you're trying to do is block all the transmission, then you need to get 70-80% coverage on a global basis. So that, it's unbelievably big numbers.
And the reason he can sit there and smirk like that, you already know. Those unbelievably big numbers will produce unbelievably big numbers in his bank account and the bank accounts of all his big pharma and biotech buddies. Funded, of course, by taxpayers around the country and the world.
I mean, you're talking about a global vaccination program.
A global vaccination program.
Without a vaccine that hasn't been fully developed yet, and a massive scaling up of how to produce one or several vaccines. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think about this effort.
But the private companies have stepped up. The science has been advanced. The U.S. funds biological research more than any other country. We've stepped up to fund these vaccine manufacturers. The plants are being worked out now. In 2021, there's a good chance this can get done, and because this is about the billions that we need to spend to save trillions and avoid all those deaths.
Can we really say that we're going to spend billions to save trillions? Can we really say that Gil Bates' booster shot is going to keep us safe and help us sidestep massive deaths? Or will spending billions of dollars of other people's money make the oligarchs trillions of dollars and result in countless deaths as people are shot full of genetically altering DNA, heavy metals, toxins, baby parts, and other contaminants? Guys, if you like these videos and you want to support this channel, one of the best things you can do is like this video and share it with everybody you know everywhere you can on social media. It's the only way I can sidestep the YouTube algorithms and combat the mainstream media propaganda machine. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored, shadow banned, and now 100% demonetized video. We've seen some crazy crap happen in the past month that we never thought would happen in the United States of America. People fighting over toilet paper and disinfectant sprays, reports coming in from all over the place of empty store shelves, no meat, no chicken, no eggs, the rice is gone. The last thing you want to do is be at a store fighting over food with the rest of the lemmings. But you can sidestep all that by going to my website, preparewithhighimpactflicks.com, where you can pick up a couple months worth of delicious, nutritious, 2,000 calorie a day food that can store for up to 25 years. The site is preparewithhighimpactflicks.com, and I'll throw that in the description and in the pinned comment for you. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large crowds. It's better to have a food supply and not need it than to need it